Okay, so we'll start with today. The topic is shoulder injury. Okay, so actually, this topic is actually very easy. At the same time, somewhere it looks like confusing. Okay, so I will go slow. I will go slow. Okay, anytime you feel, you can WhatsApp me. Okay, regarding if you don't understand it, please don't. That is
सर आवाज बहुत का धीरे आ रही है.
okay. Okay, okay. So we'll start with. Thank you. Okay, so we will start with the basics of shoulder. Okay, so this is the same thing which you have studied in anatomy. Okay, so basics is somewhere you have to remember something. Okay, so the first thing you remember is this is a which type of section. This is a sagittal section. Sagittal means it is a sort of laterally if you cut your shoulder. Okay, this is the joint. Okay, laterally if you cut your shoulder joint, you remove your humerus and you see from the humeral end. Okay, so you will see this is the glenoid. Okay, now, so there is a humerus. So what do you mean by shoulder joint? The shoulder joint is actually form of two things. One is this is humeral head, okay, and second thing is there is a cavity which is known as glenoid, okay. So normally hip joint and shoulder joint are similar, but the problem of glenoid is it is very shallow, okay. It's very shallow. I had actually made it more deep, but it's actually shallow, okay. So because of the shallow nature, there is a more chance of dislocation, okay. There's a more chance of dislocation, okay. So that's why shoulder joint is most in unstable joint, okay. There's a lot of cases of dislocation. So most common dislocation in joints in body is shoulder joint, okay. It's because of the glenoid, shallow glenoid and ligaments. There are many factors related to this. Okay. So first thing, if you see this joint, this is actually a glenoid joint. Okay. Okay. There is a labrum inside. This is a cavity, glenoid cavity. Okay. And there is a labrum. Labrum is a soft tissue. Okay. It's like a cartilage or something like. Labrum means soft tissue. Okay. Now it comes from anterior. This is anterior part and this is posterior part. Okay. Okay. So anterior part and posterior part. Two things should be remembered. The other thing which should be remembered is an anterior. There is only one muscle. This is known as subscapularis. Okay. So anterior it is subscapularis. Then posterior, if you go from posterior, there is three muscles. This is known as SIT. Okay. It is known as SIT. This is supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and teres minor. Okay. It is minor. It is not major. Okay. So posteriorly there is a three supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and teres minor. Okay, so you can remember it sit. Okay, anterior it is subscapularis. So it's very simple. So if you remember anterior, everything is going into posterior. So anteriorly it is subscapularis. Posteriorly it is supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and it's come in a combination. Okay, so it's all three muscles come in a combination. Okay. Now the other thing for this thing you have to remember is, so you see this labrum. This is so see the just wait. So if you see the the surrounding structure, so normally the joint is surrounded overall. Okay, so superiorly, anteriorly, and posteriorly it is surrounded by muscles and ligament. Okay, but inferiorly, if you see, there is no covering. Okay, so inferiorly there is no covering. Okay, that's why the most commonly try to be, if there is inferior dislocation, most commonly this shoulder joint try to dislocate inferiorly, because inferiorly there is no support. Okay, by anterior you have support, you have superiorly you have supraspinatus, posteriorly you have infraspinatus and teres minor, but inferiorly there is no support. Okay, so first thing in anatomy you should remember this thing. Okay, then what is more important, then there is something which is known as a rotator interval. Okay, so this thing you have to remember, this thing rotator interval. I will tell you the significance. Rotator interval is between the anterior and the superior thing. Okay, so between the subscapularis and supraspinatus ke beech mein, this is rotator interval. Okay, this is rotator interval. You just remember this thing. Okay, then there are acromion, coracoacromial ligament, coracoid process. This all is something anatomical. Okay, let's move to second slide. Okay. Okay, so for this you should remember one thing: subscapularis and SIT. Okay, that's all for Now come for second slide. Okay, so anteriorly the same thing I'd already told you. Anterior it is this subscapularis, and posteriorly it is SIT. Okay. Now, so musculotendinous cuff is a stability to for the capsule except inferiorly. I'd already told you most common dislocation is downward direction. Downward direction में most commonly होता है. Okay. Now come for most common injury, it is a supraspinatus injury. The superior जो has supraspinatus. Most commonly injury उसका होता है supraspinatus का. Okay. So we'll talk of different function of all this. Okay. So rotator cuff is what is the rotator cuff? मैंने already told you कि this if you see this is your superior thing and this is your anterior thing. So this interval is known as rotator interval. Rotator cuff बोलते हैं. All these four muscles comprise of rotator cuff. So between the anterior and the superior, this is known as rotator interval. इसमें से एक tendon जाता है. That is known as biceps tendon. Okay. So you see this figure. Okay. So this is superior thing, which is this is superior. Okay, this is anterior. So anterior it is subscapularis. So this is subscapularis, the anterior part of the shoulder. Okay, superiorly it is supraspinatus. In between supraspinatus and subscapularis, this is coracoid process. ये coracoid होता है, ठीक है? ये if you can feel coracoid process. Coracoid process is very subcutaneous. So even you can feel coracoid by your own. Okay, so coracoid process के just बगल में this interval. Okay. Sorry for the problems. So you see this coracoid process. This is supraspinatus, this is subscapularis. Coracoid के just बगल में this interval is known as rotator interval. और ये जो biceps का long tendon होता है, it comes from this interval. Okay. So importance of rotator interval is that long head of biceps comes through this. Okay. That is thing to rotator cuff test. So now we have all the different tests. Okay. So thing is we should remember what are the action of muscles. Okay. So okay, so we'll study about the function of muscle. Sorry for the today I am very I don't know. So just remember one thing. Okay. So infraspinatus, and teres minor. Okay, those the last two segment. Okay, इनका काम होता है. They have external rotation and abduction. Okay, इनका एक्शन ये होता है. सो सब स्कैपुलरिस एंटीरियर होता है, ये सब स्कैपुलरिस होता है, सुप्रास्पाइनेटस इधर होता है, एंड ये नीचे के दो जो फ्रैगमेंट होते हैं उनको बोलते हैं इंफ्रास्पाइनेटस एंड टेरिस माइनर. सो इंफ्रास्पाइनेटस एंड टेरिस माइनस द फंक्शन इज external rotation and abduction. Okay, you just remember it. I will tell you about future. Okay, the second thing is supraspinatus. Okay, so supraspinatus किधर रहता है? Supraspinatus ऊपर रहता है इधर. Okay, so it comes like this. I will tell you so you'll remember. Okay, so see this is your humerus. Okay, so ये humerus है तुम्हारा. Okay, now this is your glenoid. Okay, now supraspinatus ऊपर से आता है and attached to this. Okay, this is the attachment. Okay, so whenever supraspinatus pull, okay, so ये humerus ऊपर जाएगा. Okay, यहाँ से अगर pull होता है supraspinatus को, this humerus go up. So supraspinatus का function है abduction. Okay, abduction. So main abduction का function is by supraspinatus. Okay, so remember supraspinatus is a abductor. Okay, the infraspinatus and teres minus का function क्या होता है? External rotation and abduction. Okay, ठीक है. Now the third is subscapularis. Subscapularis anteriorly होता है. Okay, so इसका function होता है you have to do internal rotation and adduction. Okay, so see this is a test which is known as lift off test. Okay, lift off test एक test होता है. So this is a test for subscapularis. So normally कैसे करते हैं? We just held the hand of the person back. Okay, so back पे हाथ रखते हैं and we'll say the person or will ask him to push it back. So while pushing it back, so So normal, this is the normal attitude of the patient. Okay, we'll ask him to push it back. So you can hold his hand and allow him to push it back. Okay, if the patient can't push it back, okay, it means the subscapularis is working. So it is not a lift off. So sometimes even if you what is it, why it is known as lift off. So some, if your girlfriend or boyfriend is very angry and you are touching this from backside, he always you ask you to lift off, means get away back. So this is the action of lift off. Okay, so this is a mainly test of subscapularis. Okay, so you can remember that way. This is a belly press test. Okay, so belly press test is same of subscapularis. Okay, you ask the patient to press her belly. Okay, this is a action of adduction and internal rotation. So if you, the subscapularis action is internal rotation and adduction, and while doing your belly press, you can do this adduction and internal rotation. So if you see this action is also the same adduction and internal rotation, but it is behind the back, and in front of the back you can do this belly press test. So see here the same thing he is doing. Belly press test should be done by yourself only, by the patient only. This is just a graphical thing to remember what is belly press test. So while pressing your belly, you can test your subscapularis, okay, or you can just lift off. These two tests of subscapularis. Then third test is this is Jobs. Sometimes some people say Jobs or empty cans test. Okay, this is the other test of subscapularis, where you have to you have to do your you have to keep your hand in 90 degree of abduction. Okay, you have to raise your humerus into 90 degree of abduction, and in anteriorly you do 30 degree of flexion. Okay, and then you keep your thumb downward in downward direction like empty can post. Okay, and you try to go up. Okay, while the doctor will try to resist it. Okay, so patient force should be upward. Okay, so patient force should be upward while the doctor will try to resist it. So this is way to check your subscapularis. Okay, this is Jobs or empty can test, both this. So it is an action against the resistance. Then so we have three tests for subscapularis. One is your lift off test. Okay, so it is like lifting off your from your girlfriend or from boyfriend. This is your belly press, the same action. Okay, you're putting your hand on belly. Okay, the third test is empty can test. Okay, you looks like a Coca-Cola the can. Okay, or open can. Okay, so you have open can, the lid should be look like this. Okay, the doctor will try to push it downward and you have to push it upward. Okay, so if you have resistance you can push it upward. Okay, so this is a test for subscapularis. So subscapularis, the action is adduction and internal rotation. Okay, it is anterior muscle. Okay, anterior muscle subscapularis. Now we have two muscles which is infraspinatus. So last two muscle which is infraspinatus and teres minor. Okay, IT, what do you say? IT, infraspinatus and teres minor, their main action is external rotation. Okay, so how you test external rotation, infraspinatus and teres minor? It is mainly for both, not for infraspinatus, it is for both. So normally you do external rotation in this direction. You are taking this outside. Okay, so what is external rotation? This hand should go outside. Okay, so this hand should go outside. So while turning your hand to outside, you should be resisted by some doctor so that it can measure your strength of doing external rotation. So this is a resisted external rotation to look for your infraspinatus and teres minor. It's not only for one muscle. Now this is drop sign. So supraspinatus, as I already told you, what is the action of supraspinatus. So supraspinatus come from this and attach to this. Whenever you contract supraspinatus, supraspinatus pull this up. Okay, so it is abduction type of test. Okay, so drop arm sign is like the you have to hold this, okay, and you just drop it. Okay, so it like affected arm is at 90 degree elevation and almost external with elbow plus the patient is asked to maintain its position. Okay, yeah, this thing should be important. So you keep the position this, you hold the shoulder joint, you hold the hand here. Okay, as soon as you release your hand, the patient, if it falls, okay, that means your muscles is not acting. Okay, if your muscles are acting, it will keep the hand in abduction. Okay, so it is just a test of supraspinatus that it can hold the hand into this position. So you stabilize the shoulder, you hold the wrist, and as soon as you remove your wrist from your hand from the patient wrist, the hand would fall down. Okay, so it is known as drop arm sign. So if your muscles are okay, it will not drop. Okay, this is drop arm test from supraspinatus. This is the other form of drop arm test where it is in 90-degree of flexion. The doctor has a hold at the elbow region, and as soon as he will remove his hand, the arm will fall off. Okay, so same test for drop arm is supraspinatus. Okay. This rotator cuff repair. Okay, so those, so we have the main test for, will again we revise for the same thing. So lift off belly test, and subscapularis. Okay, and Job's Imtican. Okay, this three test is for subscapularis. For this teres minor and infraspinatus, you have to resist your external rotation. Now come to supraspinatus. The main action of supraspinatus is abduction. So drop arm test, okay, which looks key, your muscles are abducting, and keeping your arm in a 90-degree position or not. This is test for supraspinatus. Now these all are rotator cuffs. So all four muscles are of rotator cuff muscles. Okay. Now how will your rotator cuff repair? So there is a way of repairing. So repair is by arthroscope. So you normally, if the tear is not too much, or your muscles are slightly weak or something like that, initially you do conservative treatment. How will you do conservative treatment? You give him the painkillers, ice packs, then physiotherapy and all that. And once the tear is too much, okay, that it cannot be taken care of conservative treatment, then you have to go for surgery. The surgery is known as arthroscopy. Arthroscopy means, arthro means joint, scopy means some scope. Okay, so these are the teeny scopes. Okay, these are 2 mm, 8 mm, less than 1 centimeter holes. So they make a 1 centimeter hole inside your skin. Okay, and there are many ports. Okay, there are many ports or many entry points. Okay, you just remember arthroscopy. You cannot remember only two things. Just remember arthroscope is, arthro means joint, scope means where you can put. So you can put this arthroscope into shoulder, you can put into knee joint. So arthroscopy is a subspecialty of orthopedic surgery. So now we'll come for shoulder dislocation. Okay, so shoulder have four types of dislocation. So this is your glenoid. Okay, your humerus lies here. So shoulder can dislocate anteriorly. Okay, can dislocate posteriorly, can dislocate inferiorly. Superiorly, it cannot, normally don't dislocate because of this clavicle and all that. Okay. So most common type of dislocation, is the anterior dislocation. Okay, so now don't confuse with whatever I told you, that this glenoid, this shoulder joint have four type: anterior muscles, superior muscle and inferior muscle, and no inferior support. So normally, so in according to support, there is all type of support of superiorly, anteriorly and inferiorly. So most easy way of dislocation is inferiorly, most easy way of dislocation. But still the most common way of dislocation, yeah, most common pattern of dislocation is anterior. Okay, this is the weaker section. Okay, but still it go dislocate anteriorly. So if the question asks which is the weakest way of dislocation, or which is weakest part of for dislocation, it is always inferiorly. But most common type of dislocation is anteriorly. Okay. So more anterior dislocation, what means, the humerus goes anteriorly to the glenoid labrum. That is known as anterior dislocation. So now in anterior dislocation there is three types. Okay, so you have to remember what is you mean by coracoid, what do you mean by so glenoid, coracoid and clavicular. So this is clavicle, this is known as clavicle. Okay, this is clavicle. Okay, now if you in shoulder, you see this portion is coracoid. Okay, so coracoid means that I will show you why is it coracoid. This is coracoid. So this is coracoid. Okay, this portion is coracoid, this is coracoid. So this structure, pen like structure, bulb like structure is coracoid. This is clavicle. Okay, so the dislocation can be anterior dislocation. If it is inside coracoid, this is subcoracoid. Okay, coracoid ke niche is subcoracoid, subclavicular. So depending upon the way of dislocation, there are different names. Okay. So most common, so this is your shoulder, this is your humeral head, this is your glenoid. So it can dislocate anteriorly. So anteriorly mein medially aata hai. Okay, So it can be pre-glenoid, just glenoid के just नजदीक आएगा, just near to glenoid is a pre-glenoid. Coracoid के just नीचे आएगा, so that's why it's known as subcoracoid. Sub means down, नीचे, so it is subcoracoid. Clavicle के नीचे आएगा, so it is infraclavicular. So depending upon the dislocation, you can name it. Okay, most commonly it is subcoracoid. You remember the middle one, subcoracoid. Okay. Okay, what is the most common way of injury? Obviously, I had already told you, most common type of injury is outstretched hand. Every time you fall, you outstretch your hand to resist the fall. Okay, this is a human tendency, or this is a reflex. Okay, so so normally it is mainly outstretched hand pe if you fall on outstretched hand. Okay, so first is outstretched hand pe fall hona. Okay, the second thing is there is two way of dislocation. One is direct dislocation and one is indirect dislocation. Okay, so what is direct dislocation? Direct dislocation is someone what is it, pushing you posteriorly. Okay, if you're somebody give a thrust force on your humerus from posteriorly, obviously it will come anteriorly. This is a direct type of blow. Okay, indirect type of blow is if you can fall on this way. Okay, so it is abduction and external rotation. So this position is a classical position for anterior dislocation. So you yourself do this position. You yourself on your right hand you can do your abduction do on 90-degree and start doing external rotation. Uh, as soon as you start doing external rotation, you will feel pain on the anterior surface of your shoulder capsule. Okay, that because the anterior capsule is preventing it from dislocating anteriorly. Okay, so this is a classical position for dislocation. You yourself do, and then you will remember. So you do abduction of your shoulder at 90-degree. Okay, and start doing external rotation. External rotation means rotating of your shoulder joint. As soon as you start rotating, you cannot rotate more than 10-degree or 5-degree because your anterior capsule start stretching, and because it start getting pain, it will stop the dislocation. So sometimes the people who get drunk, or some people who got neurological issue, okay, they can have this dislocation. Okay, because they don't have the what is it, resistance, or they don't feel the pain. Okay, and they do external rotation after a certain limit, and because of that there's a anterior dislocation. So it can be direct type of dislocation where somebody give a thrust force on posteriorly and your shoulder comes anterior, or you can be like this. So you have this abduction and external rotation like this old lady, and the elbow will go, the shoulder will go anterior dislocation. Now, so normally the dislocation, okay, so this is the classical position of dislocation. So normally if you got dislocated of your shoulder, you are always the shoulder, the anterior dislocation. So most common dislocation is anterior, and we'll mainly studying anterior. So this is the classical position. So your arm should be kept in abduction. Okay, and slight external and rotation position. Okay, so it is slightly in external and rotation position, and it is in abduction. Okay, so this is classical dislocation. Okay. Now, so this is the four test. Okay, so I will go along BDCS test. Okay, so this is a Dugas test. Okay, so Dugas is the Dugu is, I think, the pet name of Hrithik Roshan. So this motion, this motion is, what is it? This is adduction and internal rotation. So this motion you cannot, once you got a dislocation. Okay, once you got a dislocation, you see a dislocating shoulder. Okay, so it is always in abduction. Okay, see, this is always an abduction. You cannot adduct, it is too much painful. So this is abduction. Okay, it is abduction, and if you see, there is a slight external rotation. So normally it is a slight external rotation. Okay, so this is classical phase of the dislocating shoulder or painful shoulder. So what do you say Dugas test? What is a test where you ask patient to do adduction and internal rotation? Okay, this way, adduction and internal rotation, and patient cannot do. Okay, so if patient is having anterior dislocation of shoulder, the patient cannot do this test. Okay, so it cannot adduction and internal rotation. Okay, you cannot do this. So this is a test known as Dugas test. Okay, with anterior dislocation this is not possible. Okay, just remember this. This is Dugas test. This is a Calway test. Okay, so Calway, I search on internet. Okay, so Calway is a company. Okay, a brand of golf. Okay, so this is a golf stick. Okay, so it looks like axilla. Okay, So what happens in Colway? This is, if you see, it's your axilla. So while dislocation, if there is a dislocation, your axillary circumferential vertical circumference will increase. Okay, I don't know how, but this is the way you should remember. I don't know how. So Calvé test is a test in dislocation where the, because of the shoulder deformed or the deformity or whatever, the vertical circumference of your axilla would increase. So Calvé is a Wolf company. I found somewhere. That's why it's known as Calvé's. Calvé's test book. Test is Hamilton ruler test. Okay. So normal, this is a normal patient. Okay. So normal patient में क्या होता है? This is your supraspinatus muscle. जो ऊपर से आता है the supraspinatus muscle. So normally if you keep a ruler, okay. So this is the lateral condyle of humerus. So if you adduct your shoulder by yourself, and one of your if you keep a ruler, okay, so it will touch your lateral condyle of the humerus. Lateral condyle of humerus is this is lateral condyle of humerus. So it will touch your lateral condyle of humerus. Superiorly it will go along the muscle mass, that is because of the this supraspinatus, okay. But if there is a dislocation, okay, so the muscle mass will go posteriorly, it will anteriorly dislocate. So at that time it will directly touch the acromion, okay, it will just touch the acromion. So this is Hamilton ruler test. So Hamilton ruler mein in this location it will directly touch the acromion, and lower down it is lateral condyle. So acromion and lateral condyle. You see the acromion. The acromion it touch the lateral condyle. So this muscle portion is overall come anteriorly. This is Bryant test. So this is a basketball player, Kobe Bryant. Okay, this is known as Kobe Bryant. He died, I think, recently. He's very famous for basketball. So the Bryant test is what the anterior axillary fold is at lower level. Okay, so anteriorly axillary fold. So if so, see this axilla and this axilla. So normally क्या होता है जो anterior axillary fold होगा, it should be at lower level. Okay, so somewhere you see this axillary level and this axillary level. This is at lower level. So this is, you can remember that way. So Kobe Bryant is where the anterior axillary line is at the lower level, or anterior axillary fold at the lower level. Then this is regiment bandage test. So normally the policeman or the regiment is related to army. So army have normally some badge, okay, some Balidan badge or any badge. People keep it like here, okay. So in regiment bandage test is at this point where you keep the badge, okay. There should be, if there's a dislocation, and while doctor is testing at that location, you will feel anesthesia or hyposthesia. Means the sensation would be less because of dislocation. Then there's slight of nerve irritation or whatever, nerve irritation or nerve injury because of that axillary nerve, or I don't know which nerve. But there is a anesthesia at this area. This is known as regiment, which is like military regiment. Bandage is actually, it should be badge, but the word is bandage test. Okay. So this is regiment bandage test. Just remember Balidan bandage. Now, so again we'll go for anterior dislocation. So, well, shoulder dislocation, we'll talk of shoulder dislocation. Most common joint dislocated in body is shoulder, because the glenoid is very shallow and muscles are inferiorly, it is deficient, and muscles are not good, ligament are not good. Most commonly it is anterior dislocation. In anterior dislocation, the subcoracoid, below the coracoid, is most common. Okay. Now come with this. This is the classical way of fracture: the abduction and external rotation, where the lady falls on outstretched hand. Okay. This is the other one is posteriorly. If you push or blow on that shoulder, it will come anteriorly. Mainly this is four tests for anterior dislocation. This is BDCH. Okay, so I don't know why it is not BDCH. It should be BCDH. Anyway, you just remember BDCH. So Bryant, Dugas, Calves, and Hamilton ruler. These are the four tests. Okay, this is the classical position where you have to abduction and external rotation. You have to keep dislocation in this. This is Dugas. Dugas, you cannot do this test. Okay, he is normal. That's why he is doing adduction and internal rotation. If your dislocation, you cannot do this. Okay. Calves is golf club where axilla. It is like axilla. Okay, and the vertical length would increase. Okay. This is Hamilton ruler. Normally, you cannot touch the acromion. Okay, you cannot touch the acromion because of the muscle. In dislocation, you can touch acromion with the lateral condyle. This is Hamilton ruler. Bryant's test, you see the axilla, you see the axilla. This is lower. So lower axillary fold in dislocated shoulder. Regiment bandage test, there is anesthesia at this point. Complications are there, many complications. Nerve artery, obviously, you know. But most common thing is there's a recurrent dislocation. I said this is a most common dislocation joint, and it is a most commonly recurrent dislocation. Every time you do reduction, it will again dislocate. So recurrent dislocation is the most common complication. Other than that, there is axillary nerve, artery is there. Then is a brachial plexus. This is a posterior cord. Okay. So in posterior cord, if you remember, I think it is ulnar. Okay. Ulnar is the mnemonic of the posterior cord, in which there is axillary nerve. Okay.